The void of deep space was quiet. Too quiet. Among the distant stars, the remnants of a long-forgotten human warship drifted silently, a ghost of the past. Its name, Titan's Resolve, was etched across its hull, barely visible through layers of cosmic dust and years of neglect. No one in the galaxy believed humans still existed. The Galactic Coalition had long considered them extinct, a primitive species that could not survive the combined might of the cosmos. Yet, here it was, frozen in time, waiting for the moment it would awaken. Inside the Supercarrier, the cryogenic chambers hummed softly, untouched for decades. One chamber opened, releasing a cloud of frost into the cold air. Commander Elias Kane emerged slowly, his body stiff from centuries of suspended animation. His eyes scanned the chamber, first adjusting to the dim light, then to the towering walls lined with consoles and dormant systems. Kane had been trained for one purpose: to protect humanity. Now, humanity was nearly gone, and he was alone. He touched a nearby console and the screen flickered to life. A calm, melodic voice filled the room. "Welcome back, Commander Kane," said Athena, the ship's artificial intelligence. "Systems are at 57% efficiency. Full restoration will take time." Kane exhaled, his breath fogging in the cold air. "Time is what I have, Athena. What has changed while I was gone?" Athena's holographic display filled the chamber with data. The Galactic Coalition now dominates the galaxy. Humans are considered extinct. Many of their former colonies have been absorbed into Coalition territory. However, a few isolated settlements remain unknown to the Coalition. They are small and lack resources. They rely on stealth to survive. Kane's jaw tightened. "They believe we are gone. That makes this easier, or more dangerous. How many ships are near this sector?" "Scouts have been detected approximately 3 light-years from your current location. They are small observation vessels, but highly advanced. They are likely searching for anomalies." Kane stood tall, his uniform creased but dignified, his presence commanding even in the cold, empty chamber. "They will find us soon," he said quietly. "And when they do, I need to make them remember who humans are." Athena projected a hologram of the Titan's Resolve. Kane walked around the glowing image, touching parts of the ship that were meant for weapons, communications, and life support. "This ship was made to survive anything," he said, "and it will survive again." For the first time in centuries, the Supercarrier stirred. Power cores hummed to life. Lights blinked along the hull. Automated repair drones floated into the maintenance corridors, fixing rusted panels, recalibrating sensors, and restoring dormant systems. Kane moved among them, guiding their work. Every movement reminded him of a human truth: ingenuity. Humans were never the strongest in numbers, but they were relentless, adaptable, and intelligent. Days passed in isolation. Kane worked tirelessly with Athena, bringing the Supercarrier to full operational capability. Weapons that could pierce the strongest shields came online. Adaptive defensive systems tested themselves against simulated attacks. The ship's stealth engines, capable of near invisibility in space, were calibrated to perfection. And throughout it all, Kane maintained his sense of purpose. But humans were not the only ones paying attention. The Coalition scouts had moved closer, their sensors picking up unusual energy readings from the sector. They noticed subtle disturbances in gravitational fields and small bursts of energy that did not match any known natural phenomena. The Coalition Council debated what to do. Sending a strike force would risk a direct confrontation with something unknown. Ignoring it could allow a dangerous threat to grow unchecked. Kane watched the holographic displays, learning about the Coalition's ships from Athena's extensive archives. He noticed their strengths, their predictable tactics, and, more importantly, their weaknesses. "They have grown complacent," he said. "They think peace has lasted so long that no one can challenge them. That is our advantage." Finally, Athena spoke, her voice calm but urgent. "Commander, the scouts are entering the detection range. They will be able to scan your location within the next 6 standard hours. You have a decision to make. Kane clenched his fists. We show them what they cannot ignore. We do not strike yet. We prepare. They must understand before they fear. Athena nodded. Understood. Shall I activate the communication arrays for a preliminary message? No, not yet. Let them sense the presence first. Fear is not in violence. It is in certainty. They will see what humans have built and realize we are not gone. As predicted, the scouts approached, small and sleek, easily mistaken for simple observation craft. They probed the sector carefully, scanning for signs of activity. For hours, they found nothing. Then subtle ripples appeared in their readings, gravitational distortions from the supercarrier's mass, low-level energy pulses, and the faint hum of ancient yet powerful engines. The lead scout, a crystalline vessel piloted by the alien species called the Thryn, reported back in a trembling voice. Commander, we are detecting an anomaly. It is enormous. Its energy signature is unlike anything recorded. Back on the Titan's resolve, Kane activated a series of subtle systems. The supercarrier's outer hull glowed faintly, casting a pale shimmer across the darkness. Defense drones floated in synchronized patterns, visible only through specialized sensors. Kane allowed Athena to amplify the readings just enough for the scouts to notice, but not enough to be destructive. The Thryn commander blinked in confusion. It is alive? Yes, Athena replied. And it is human. Kane finally broke his silence. I am Elias Kane, last commander of the human fleet. You believed my kind extinct. You were wrong. Humanity has survived. Humanity has returned. The scouts immediately sent messages back to the coalition, panic and awe mixed in every transmission. Ships from different species scrambled to intercept, curious and anxious. But Kane did not panic. Every move he made was calculated, precise, and deliberate. The coalition had underestimated humans once, and he would remind them why such mistakes were costly. For the next few hours, Kane prepared the supercarrier for full activation. Shields rose, energy generators hummed at full capacity, and propulsion systems tested their limits. Athena projected simulations of every possible coalition counterattack, and Kane refined their strategy. Humans might have been reduced in numbers, but their intelligence and adaptability had never diminished. When the coalition fleet finally arrived at the edge of the sector, they were met with a sight that silenced even the boldest leaders. The Titan's resolve emerged from the shadows of a dense asteroid belt, its massive hull glinting under distant starlight. Its size alone dwarfed any coalition battleship. Its weaponry glimmered ominously, adaptive shields glowing softly like a heartbeat. No shots were fired. No threats were made. The coalition fleet stopped in disbelief. A silence settled over the sector, a silence filled with awe, fear, and respect. Kane stood on the command bridge, gazing at the alien ships. They do not understand yet, he said to Athena. But soon, they will. They will learn that humans never surrender. They never give up. And they never, ever forget. Athena's voice was calm, almost proud. Commander, the supercarrier is ready for full jump. Shall I prepare for hyperspace? Emergence near Coalition Central Command? Kane's eyes narrowed with determination. Yes, let them see the future of humanity. Let them see what they missed. As the Titan's resolve prepared for its jump, the human commander allowed himself a brief moment of reflection. Humanity had been pushed to the edge, scattered, and dismissed. Yet here they were, alive, powerful, and ready to reclaim their place among the stars. And when the coalition realized what humanity had built, there would be no doubt. Humans were no longer a footnote in galactic history. They were a force that demanded recognition, respect, and fear. The supercarrier's engines flared with a brilliant light. The stars around it stretched into streams of energy as hyperspace activated. Kane's heart pounded with anticipation. He was not just returning to the galaxy, he was returning to ensure that humans would never again be forgotten. The galaxy watched in silence, unaware of the storm that was about to arrive. A storm built from human resilience, intelligence, and unyielding courage. The Titan's resolve was alive. Humanity was alive. And the coalition would soon bow, not out of fear alone, but out of the realization that humans had returned, stronger than ever. The Titan's resolve emerged from hyperspace like a giant awakening from a long slumber. Stars streaked past its hull as the human supercarrier slowed into normal space near the heart of the Galactic Coalition. Every ship in the sector halted, sensors straining to understand the massive object that had suddenly appeared. The silence was thick, filled with confusion and awe. No one had expected a human ship, let alone one of such size, power, and sophistication. Inside the command bridge, Commander Elias Kane stood tall, his presence calm but commanding. Athena's holographic display projected every coalition ship in the sector, tracking their movements. "Commander," Athena said, "the coalition fleet is forming a perimeter. They are unarmed, observing. They do not understand what they face." Kane's eyes scanned the holograms. "Good. Observation first. Fear second. Respect always." He allowed the supercarrier to glow faintly, a subtle display of power just enough to be seen across the fleet. Adaptive shields shimmered, defensive turrets rotated slowly, and energy conduits pulsed rhythmically along the hull. Every coalition ship could see the potential power humanity had regained. The alien leaders' voices echoed through the sector via the universal translator. This cannot be," said a Thrin admiral. "Humans were extinct. Their technology, this is beyond our records." Kane activated the supercarrier's communications array. His voice was calm, steady, and resonant. "I am Commander Elias Kane of the human fleet. You once believed my species extinct. You were wrong. Humans have survived and humanity has returned, not as observers, not as supplicants, but as equals. Look upon what we have built. Look upon what you underestimated." Athena projected holographic images into the space around the supercarrier. Human colonies rebuilt from scratch, orbital cities with advanced energy systems, fleets of smaller vessels armed with precision weapons, research stations capable of remarkable scientific feats, and humanitarian operations delivering aid across distant star systems. Each projection was a testament to human resilience, intelligence, and creativity. A hush fell over the coalition fleets. Even the most hardened admirals and commanders could not deny what they were seeing. Humans were no longer a minor species. They were a civilization that had survived, adapted, and evolved beyond expectation. One of the alien commanders, a tall, crystalline being named Zir, stepped forward on the projection platform. "Commander Kane, your return is remarkable. But why now? Why emerge at this moment?" Kane's eyes narrowed, his expression calm but firm. "Because humanity cannot remain in hiding any longer. We have watched your coalition grow complacent. We have seen you claim order across the galaxy, believing no one could challenge your authority. Humans do not forgive underestimation, and we do not forget. This is our moment. Not to destroy, but to remind you, we are here. We have returned. We will not be ignored." Zir paused, his crystalline body reflecting the light of distant stars. "You speak boldly. For a species we believed extinct. And boldly is what humanity has always been," Kane replied. "We adapt. We overcome. We survive. We build. We innovate. And now we lead." Tension grew as some coalition ships cautiously moved closer, testing the waters. Kane allowed a small probe to approach and scan the supercarrier. Within moments, it relayed information back to the fleet. Weapon systems that could obliterate entire squadrons, shields that could withstand multiple attacks, and propulsion systems capable of extreme maneuvers. The coalition leaders were silent. Even their bravest generals realized the truth. Any attempt to attack the Titan's resolve would be futile. Humans were no longer weak, and their presence was undeniable. Athena's voice broke the silence. "Commander, they are assessing. The majority of their fleets remain at a safe distance. They are hesitant." Kane smiled slightly. "Let them hesitate. Hesitation is respect. Let them feel the weight of what they once ignored." Then, with deliberate precision, Kane activated the supercarrier's full array of communication and defense systems. Holographic projections highlighted human colonies and achievements, showing not only military strength, but also scientific brilliance, medical breakthroughs, and sustainable energy systems. He wanted the coalition to understand the full scope of humanity's potential. The leaders of the coalition began to bow, not physically, but in a gesture of respect, an acknowledgement of power and intelligence they could not ignore. Jir stepped forward again, this time with reverence. "Commander Kane, your species has exceeded all expectations. You have survived what no one thought possible. You are remarkable." Kane's voice carried across the sector, steady and commanding. "We are humans. We endure, we learn, we create, we protect, and now we have returned to ensure that humanity is recognized as it should be, equal, respected, and unignored. This is not a threat. It is a warning and a promise. The galaxy will see what humans are capable of." The coalition's silence was total. No orders were given, no weapons fired. The fleets hovered, observing the massive supercarrier, its lights pulsing like the heartbeat of a species reborn. Humanity had reclaimed its place in the galaxy, not by conquest, but by showing the undeniable truth of its strength, intelligence, and resilience. Kane allowed himself a brief smile. "Athena, initiate first contact protocols. We will offer cooperation, not submission, guidance, not domination. Let them see the humans they once dismissed can now lead, not through fear, but through innovation, wisdom, and persistence." Athena's holograms projected a detailed map of coalition territories. Kane studied them carefully. "We will begin rebuilding alliances, reclaiming lost colonies, and protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Humanity will rise not just as a power, but as a guardian. The galaxy will see that our return is not for destruction, but for balance and justice." The coalition leaders sent a delegation to the Titan's Resolve. Kane met them personally in the ship's observation hall. Every alien leader who entered saw the magnitude of the vessel, its technology, and the calm, commanding presence of its human commander. Kane's reputation, even centuries old, carried weight. One of the delegates, a reptilian species called the Vrin, spoke first. "Commander Kane, humans have returned in ways we could not have imagined. Your technology, your strategy, your presence, we underestimated you." Kane nodded, his expression serious. "You underestimated an entire species. Humans are never weak for long. We adapt, we learn, we survive, and now we lead." The delegation exchanged glances. Even the most skeptical among them could not deny the reality before their eyes. Humanity had returned stronger, wiser, and more capable than anyone in the galaxy could have predicted. Kane extended a hand, not for dominance, but for cooperation. "We offer partnership. We do not seek conflict unless forced. But make no mistake, humans will defend their own, and we will do so with precision, intelligence, and resilience unmatched in the galaxy. Accept our return as allies, or learn a lesson you never expected." The hall was silent for a long moment. Then, one by one, the leaders bowed, not out of fear, but out of respect. Humanity had survived, and in doing so, had reminded the galaxy of its worth. Athena projected the final statement to all ships in the sector. "Let it be known, the humans have returned. We are prepared, we are vigilant, and we will protect our legacy, our people, and our place in the stars. Humanity has risen, the galaxy will recognize it." Kane turned toward the observation window, looking out at the stars. The Titan's Resolve stood as a symbol of human resilience, ingenuity, and determination. It was more than a ship. It was a beacon, a reminder that even the smallest, once dismissed species could rise to greatness when they refused to be forgotten. The Galactic Coalition watched in awe, silence stretching across light years. Humanity had returned not through conquest, but through unyielding strength, intelligence, and unwavering courage. The galaxy had no choice but to acknowledge it. For the first time in centuries, Commander Elias Kane felt a sense of peace. Humanity had survived the darkest hours, reclaimed its legacy, and proven that it could rise from the ashes stronger than ever. The Titan's Resolve and its human crew were ready to lead the next era of exploration, innovation, and protection, and as the stars shone brightly around them, the galaxy finally understood one undeniable truth. Humans were back, and no force in the cosmos could ignore them again.